will never fade away. What you did to me, I know. Said what you had to say, but I think of beauty will never fade away. Will never fade away. That one thing that changed it all. That one thing that caused the fall. A thing of beauty, I know, will never fade away. What you did to me, I know. So what you had to say, but a thing of beauty, I know, will never fade away. And I'll do my duty, I know. Somehow I'll find a way, but a thing of beauty will never fade away. And I'll do my duty, will never fade away.
So before we get into the actual video, I just want to quickly note something to you, the viewer. This isn't going to be a video that's going to highlight the negatives surrounding CyberPunk 2077. That's not without mentioning or at least acknowledging the fact that this game did come out in a very or relatively poor state. With that being said, I'm highlighting this video for what the game is in its current state, as if you just bought it and downloaded it today or tomorrow or the next day. This isn't a full-blown review of the game. This is more so a documentation that I really wanted to create for the love of Cyberpunk itself. So before we get into the video, I really want to thank the wonderful development team over at CD Projekt Red for creating a video game that not only really matters to me a ton, it also has done a lot for me as far as how I've taken and digested various games afterwards. I don't want to carry on this little bit of the video for very much longer. It really does mean the world to me, ladies and gentlemen, if you do decide to leave a like or even dislike the video if you do not feel like watching it all the way through. Hop in the comment section, give me your criticism. If it's positive, negative, I will accept all of it. Projects like this take a very large amount of time to make, and I'm a very small content creator as far as YouTube's numbers are concerned. This video is coming out strictly for the passion and love that I do have for Cyberpunk 2077. So now we are going to be breaking into all of the various facets of the game, from the gameplay, music design, sound design, narrative design, all of those various features that you would expect out of a review, but also just to shine a light on a bigger picture that I feel like a lot of people that have played Cyberpunk never really gave it that full shot. I'm not saying everybody, but in my humble opinion, I feel like Cyberpunk is relatively underrated as far as a majority of RPG gamers are concerned. So let's shine some light on this beautiful game together, and I hope you guys enjoy. The date is December 9th, 2020. But Cyberpunk didn't come out until December 10th. You are correct. But I ended up pre-ordering the game and was even so excited I switched my console to the New Zealand time zone to get into the game a little bit early. Like a child on Christmas Eve, so excited to wake up on Christmas that falling asleep is damn near impossible, I stayed awake that night and to the next day, playing until I physically could not stay awake, so enthralled with the world, walking around Night City and just looking up. Like, let's just take a look at this game. Like, and just for the sake of like continuity or whatever within this video, some of these parts are going to be like full video essay scripted parts, but In specific scenes, like what I just said, as far as looking up when I started playing Cyberpunk 2077 upon release, I spent a vast majority of my time literally just walking around, and it wasn't like I was doing it on purpose, like almost in a way of just like almost being forced. Like everything around you just forces you to just walk and look up at everything, whether you're just in the middle of Corpo Plaza, but just like everywhere you look, it's just a massive, massive city and a massive world. And when first starting out, it was literally like, I swear, I was not doing it just to like do it. I almost, in a way, felt so into the world and immersed within the world itself that I just had to take a second and just literally stop and just look at everything around me. The cars going, everything. It just fit so naturally within the world itself. And I don't have a killer PC. Like this game, you're watching it on the next gen Xbox Series X in performance mode, and it is a looker. Like this looks good, and like that's the part of this game that just completely, just literally just threw me away. Like there's no way around this. Moon's out, mega buildings in the distance, just like the video essay script said, and I'm just in a random spot on the map. Flying AVs, and again, just getting so captivated by the world around me, it just forces you to stop and almost just take in everything. But back to the normal video. Looking up at all of the towering skyscrapers, the mega buildings, the flying AVs, slowly driving around the city, following traffic laws, and just taking my time. And minor spoiler warning for the first 4 to 6 hours of the game, but crying man tears when Jackie died. Say what you may, but when a game can make you love a character within 6 hours with the writing and beyond a phenomenal voice actor, that is talent. That is literally just pure talent. And I was at the edge of my seat, excited and terrified for what the future holds in the game. And doing that all over again and again and again to do another playthrough all these years later to this day still excites me more and more. Over the years, the game has been overhauled to the point that the game is literally night and day from release. From the point that you can't even notice the game from its launch to now. Every little thing that you can do and interact with has been completely overhauled. From being able to buy apartments in Night City, purchase whatever vehicle you want whenever you want, almost, at least you have to be a certain level, and riding a metro through Night City. All of these little minor details, things that everybody's asked for, we finally got them in the final and finished product that the game is, and it almost makes me wish I didn't play it at launch. So, after years and years of updates, it is only fair to say that everything that the development team has done update-wise for this game has just been a cherry on top of an already very, very delicious dessert.
So get away, another way to feel what you did all yourself to know and let yourself go. You know you did lose your self-control.
Alrighty, so I broke into the very first chapter here. This is going to be pertaining to the visuals and graphic style of the game itself. Now, I kind of just brought this up just a few moments ago, but we have to do this video in chapters or else it's not going to have any cohesion. As far as this game is concerned, it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. Yeah, there's times where certain things are muddled out and not exactly as crisp as you would expect them to be, but as far as textures go within the game itself, I would say about 95% of the time the game is a pure stunning looker. And it's CyberPunk, it's neon and drab, and it's ugly yet beautiful at the same time. from the cyberware enhancements people wear, neon reflecting on the wet roads on a rainy day, great looking characters, brake lights shining through the car's exhaust smoke, the sound of the leather seat that the leather seat makes as Dexter Deshawn adjusts his big ass on the seat of his limo. Now you not only have a looker for a game, but also attention to detail to enhance the environment, the dangerous dark alleys, the city square, the Corpo Plaza, the dusty red haze when near factories, the quiet contrast as you are in the Badlands. This game screams style. And I feel that within the dev team, or when the dev team said that they want the city to be the main character, I understand what they mean 100%. When you're playing this game, there's so many times where, again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but you just have to kind of like stop for a second and look around. And it's a very, very funny thing because the last game that was making me do this exact same thing was The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 would make me just kind of stop and appreciate the landscape, the wind blowing the trees, the sounds of the people working around you. This game nails that. And, some people might nitpick and say that there's, it's not as immersive, but I feel like in the game's current state, it is absolutely an immersive and enjoyable experience, whether you're playing it on a next-gen console or you're playing it on PC. I have not yet touched Cyberpunk 2077 on old gen since its initial release, so do take that with a grain of salt, but I'm fairly confident that they fixed the game over time. Maybe I'll do a video where I boot up my old Xbox and give this game a fair shot again as far as just the base game is concerned. But overall, again, the art style that they chose, again, it's cyberpunk, and they have a lot of source code to be able to detract from and be able to pull their art style and their visual graphics out of a large portion of source material within the world. There's been various books, various tabletop games. Now we have an anime, which has taken direct, fucking whatever to the game itself. But what I'm trying to convey is between all of the source material, over time, I feel like they really came up with the idea that they wanted the city to be the main character and the world around you, the corporations, the intrigue, the corporate intrigue, the backstabbing, the poverty-stricken areas of the game. Over time, they had to have basically, wanted that to be at the forefront. And if you've watched the Edge Runners anime, you can almost make that a doubled positive as far as how they attest to make the city the main character and your playable character being almost a protagonist in its own right rather than a quote main character. So we'll get back into the scripted part of this video, but I just really wanted to break this down just a little deeper for the sake of like having an understanding. Obviously, I might miss a few things and there might be qualms that you guys do have, but I feel like what is presented here is a very cohesive art style, which only makes the world, the missions, the gameplay, and everything else in between enhanced.
They will finally feel the flames that run down through my veins. I will make the city.
Alrighty, so now we're going to get into the sound and music portion of this video. This is going to be one of my more favorite parts of this entire video, just for the sake of how powerful and how moving the musical design in this game is. When comparing it to a lot of modern games that are currently on the market, it stands the test of time and it relatively holds up very, very strong, especially when you stand it next to the giants such as Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5 per se. There's very little that I can really say that's negative about the sound design. So like in the previous chapter, I kind of talked about this just a little bit, But let's just start with the star of the show, the musical score. And damn, I remember watching the launch trailer and feeling a rush of excitement after watching it. The rock music and aesthetic of punk it provides, Johnny Silverhand and Samurai just having some top tier musical moments through the game, and the weird Japanese music that's strangely fitting in a melting pot of cultures within the city. Some of the calmer jazz tracks provide a sense of mystery and calm, and some of the slower moments, and the unforgettable combat music that makes combat even more fun as an experience. And let's not forget the music with the missions, like the "We're Fucked" kind of song. I'll kind of put it on the screen right now. When Jackie Wells and V are witnessing Saburo's murder, it just completely throws you for a complete loop when listening to that track. That's the only way I can really come up with anything for it, the "Oh Fucked" moment song. And it hits hard. The overall ambient sounds, like when you're walking around the streets of Night City, also sound very, very top tier. From the wait, 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 wait at the crosswalks and please walk, and then you hear the sounds of cars, sirens, people kind of talking, and just on a rainy day you can hear the rain thudding on the umbrellas of other people around you or on the car as you're inside of it. All of the sounds within the game itself just build this world so well. The music, they have so many different tracks, and there's always going to be something for somebody to enjoy. And I've been featuring a large portion of some of my more favorite songs throughout this entire video, as you could have already told. And it's all just very, very cinematic, from even like just gauging how I made the intro to this video. It just brings so much emotion out of me. I don't know what it is, but I'm not gonna gawk and go over the music for much longer. Let's go ahead and break down the sounds that you would hear as you're roaming around the world. The engines revving on your bike after taking a turn into a straightaway, and the way that they recorded the vehicle sounds in Cyberpunk 2077 is actually very similar to how a lot of various video games record the sound for vehicles. They attach mics next to the exhaust notes or the exhaust pipe, so you can get the exhaust notes, and then they'll go through and rev up and down and go through the gears on an airstrip, so you can really get a good sense. It's not like the car sounds within the game are very, very good. They're not like a Forza level of great, but obviously even Forza has its qualms, especially in Forza, but yeah. And then again, just like the overall sounds around you, how we were talking about it. And if you're not playing this game using headphones or a good headset, you're committing a travesty for yourself. It just adds to the immersion of the world around you. And now we're going to break into the voice acting. Now, this is a very, very important part of sound and music, obviously. And let's just go ahead, and we can all admit, if you've played this game, it has some of the best voice acting in gaming, hands down. Again, it's very comparable in lieu of, all the negatives and everything that were surrounding this game. I'm fully aware, but when it comes to the voice acting and the way the writers set up the game, it is comparable with the greats like Red Dead and all of those other great games. You have just a phenomenal cast of people that did the voice. You have the frantic Pan Am, the demanding Rogue, the melancholy Misty, the bitter Johnny Silverhand, and I can go on, just based off of the tone and those moments where they really are exposed and show you a different side of them. And it all just fits so well in the game. So now that we kind of talked about the Holy Trinity, which is the music, the ambient sound design, and the voice acting, I think that's where we're going to leave this chapter. And now it is time to break into probably my favorite, or at least the best chapter of this video, the narrative. When looking back at the game's many great side stories and the main story, I have a great sense of fondness for many of the very lively cast of characters. The writing in the game is probably its biggest strength. You can tell that the developers have put a great care into sticking with the source code slash material, experiencing the many factions such as the Voodoo Boys, and just witnessing the mysterious vibes they put out, then shifting gears and going outside the city and hearing the many stories of the nomad clans. The world just feels so much bigger than what is portrayed, which is a huge in the context of the game. When you finally roll the credits, the game has many key walkaways. The biggest for me was the feeling of pure helplessness, and that sometimes a situation, even if it's grave, will be completely out of your control. And I adore that. And again, the way the music fits into the mission so well makes everything hit so hard. The developers who chose the music direction for the quest needs to get a raise. And holy crap, the animation work while the characters are interacting is literally pure gold. Like Red Dead level good. Just like, for an example, like when you're in the afterlife and you're about to go on the heist of a lifetime, Jackie Wells, T-Bug, Dexter Deshawn, and V are all sitting inside of a soundproof room discussing their plans. And the whole time, if you're just paying attention to the characters while everybody's talking, you can see Jackie shaking his foot, like restless foot syndrome level of like shaking his foot, not a glitch. It just, and while he's talking, and the reason why he's shaking his foot is because he's discussing and he's very eager and also very apprehensive over not getting the payout that he was expecting. And just as everything is wrapped up in this specific conversation, T-Bug slaps her leg and ends up getting up. And, it just, everything that they did as far as animation work, like at this point, it's pure acting. It's not just doing voiceover work for a video game anymore. Like the level of motion capture that they achieved within this game is second to none. And it just, again, when you meld everything up to this point that we've discussed, and you're listening to the sounds, and you're listening to the music, and you're experiencing the beautiful graphics, the beautiful world, and you're living in this place, it just adds to that ability to feel as if you are actually V playing and being in that setting. The ultimate form of an escapism in video gaming is when you feel like you're immersed to the point where you don't even feel like you're a part of your natural world. It's crazy. Okay, so we're going to stack some more bricks onto this Jenga tower here. The lore in the game is very deep, well written, and beautifully designed. From the shady dealings on a corporate level in Arasaka, Militech, etc., or in the shock of how Trauma Team won't even come to help you unless you're ready to give up a few limbs to get medical help. It's stunning and awesome just to show how fucked the world is. When walking around the world of Night City, I, again, go back to that feeling of looking up and just visualizing and witnessing the advertisements on the boards of just a bunch of random stuff, from Milfgard to Soul Killer, or the Crystal Palace, like all of these various advertisements for products that are overly advertised throughout the world, and all you can think about up to that point is to purchase these products and to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. And just going around and listening to the tragic stories behind Arasaka and just all of the crazy things that have happened in the world. The lore within this game has to be some of the most powerful because you have such a great background to build it from. And when when push comes to shove, just again, living within the universe of Cyberpunk 2077, and now that they're taking it multimedia even further with various, or the anime, and they might even be ending up doing a live action, it just makes this all feel so good. So, like, just going to experience different buildings that you may have heard about prior, like when reading into Arasaka Tower and finally experiencing the level of magnitude of, like, just sheer, like, awe-inspiring, I guess, design, like super modernized, super futuristic, and going from that into the Badlands, and you hear about, all of the nomad clans who've been reamed and screwed over within the world of Cyberpunk. And these are old ex-military people that literally got shunned after the wars. So there's just so much there, and that's me just tipping the iceberg. There is so much there. Almost like Fallout levels of good lore are within this game. I'm sorry, I just go on tangents, but it's truly just one of those things that if you really want to get into it, there's hundreds of YouTube videos that you can just go dive off of the deep end on YouTube, and I'm sure many of you have. But yeah, no game is good unless the gameplay is fun, right? So next chapter is gameplay. This game is a fun game to play, to its core. Let's start with the main loop of the game, quests/missions. You can always choose how to progress through the game, and each mission has a reason as to what and why you are doing it. Then you have the exploration part of the loop. The world is very rewarding and fun to explore, finding hidden secrets and even crazy cyber psychos, which are like world bosses for you to take on that not only help you get stronger, but have a story behind them, building the lore of the world. Again, the combat being very good and the gunplay feeling very gritty and satisfying. A plethora of melee weapons that are just fun to use, and a badass netrunner build for those of you who want to play with the game's, quote, magic kind of character, or a magic or a caster, being devastating in the late game. It almost feels like what Watch Dogs wants to be, and when leveling your character, the very well designed perk system make multiple playthroughs even more exciting. The cyberware system and chroming the fuck up makes this game wild, with cyberware being an integral to success on harder difficulties, a very fun system to play with. Like, just being able to mix perk systems, weapon choice, and various cyberware, there's so much theory crafting available for you to play with when it comes to building a character. You can be the gorilla arm having, super strong brute strength, just punching your way to victory. You can be the secret, stealthy, one-shot kill with the pistol build. You can go with the netrunner type build where you just literally can stand outside of a compound, which you're probably been seeing me do on my newest character that I've used for the filming of this video. Just completely shutting down entire camps of bad guys or gangs or factions by just hacking into a camera and killing everybody without even knowing who you are or where you are. It's so badass. And then looting in the world and going through the dungeons, I guess, will provide you with upgrades to your character as well. Crafting materials and clothing to make your character look as cool as you want. I love the sound for picking up loot. Small little detail, I know. So overall, when playing the game, you will usually start by having an active quest, which leads you to a dungeon per se, that has a encounter for you to delve through, looting, leveling, and getting stronger gear. Basically the full rundown of the triangle, the holy trifecta for good open world RPGs. Sometimes you may just go off and see what the world holds, taking on gigs, finding secret hidden vehicles for you to acquire, or other small stories that you can play through than just the main story, going off and seeing River Ward and experiencing the travesties behind his nephew. And just more and more stuff like that enhances the world. You can take a step back from all of that, purchase a few vehicles, purchase a few homes, ride the metro train through the city, and just live in the world. Visit vendors, Ripper docks. The game has a plethora of activities to undertake, and it's just truly a fun game to interact with. And all of that world building, music, narrative tie in very well with the gameplay, often all highlighting each other within themselves. When you're playing the game and you go into a dungeon and you're doing a quest a main quest even maybe that has a lot of weight to it, somebody may be dying, somebody needs help, you just hear the music, you have a badass character, an edge runner, and you just run through the world just feeling so vividly, like it just feels like you're there. And I'm at a loss for words, but yeah, that's the gameplay. All right. Whew. Okay. So this is going to be the outro of the video, ladies and gentlemen. This is a project that has taken me a very, very long time to complete. And I just want to thank you guys all from the bottom of my heart. Like, seriously, thank you so much for watching, especially if you've made it up to this point. It shows that you do care and that you do have a love for the game itself. Just for reference sake, I have a plane, I have to hop on a plane to Florida from Vegas within the next 6 hours from now. And this is when I'm filming the outro to the video. I've been working on this video for weeks at this point. Overall, I'm probably sitting at 90 to 150 plus hours of just editing work, B-roll filming, and just trying to make this video as good as I possibly can for your enjoyment. So literally, it means more than the world to me to make a video that somebody out there in the universe, in the world, ends up watching to this point. Doing YouTube is a absolute dream come true for me. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and I'm sacrificing this video's monetization. Don't get me wrong, there's probably ads on the video. It's most likely demonetized. If you're worried about any of that, I'm not trying to penny pinch off of you guys. This video is strictly and solely for my passion for the game itself. And I mean that 150% every single time that I tell anybody. So the fact that you guys have been able to be an audience, all I ask of you is to please support this channel freely. I'm not asking you to monetarily pay me or join my membership. I'm saying leave a like, hop in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about CyberPunk 2077 and everything around the game. Criticize the video, whether it's negative or positive. It'll be justly and willingly, from my end, consumed and understood. I'm not a top tier editor at all. I, again, started YouTube about 1.5 years ago, and I started with absolutely no editing experience. So to be able to get a video out like this, I'm giddy at just showing my friends, my family, and everybody that's close to me that's been following the channel for a long time. So again, from the bottom of my heart, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so very much for clicking, enjoying, and watching this beautiful representation, or my documentation of why CyberPunk 2077 is an absolute privilege to experience. Until next time, it's gonna be a fat minute until I upload. I'll be in Florida for about 10 days, but I got a good amount of projects in the works. If you're a fan of Fallout, I got a video that I've already started pre-script writing and gotten all my design docs. We got a YouTube ad on here, but that's not the point. So yeah, I got a Fallout video regarding the video game and the TV show, 2 separate videos. So if you're a fan of the Fallout franchise, or if you watch the series on YouTube itself, I have those videos in the pre-production process, so you can expect those to be some of the next videos. If you have recommendations for various video games, feel free to let me know. I'm absolutely open to anybody's recommendations. I'm not against making something that somebody would like to watch. At the end of the day, this channel heavily is made off of the videos that Pride, me, would like to watch. But I'm going to leave you guys there. I don't want the intro to be too heartfelt or else I'll start crying. I'm just kidding. But yeah, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a blast. I hope you enjoyed this kind of movie style production as best as I could get it. And it's only going to get better in the future. But yeah, until next time, I will see you guys bright and early 11 days from now with another upload. And until then, I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Peace out.